This is exactly what the New York Knicks needed, as multiple reports have come out on Mike Brown's plans surrounding one of the biggest storylines and questions that Knicks fans have been waiting to find a solution to. And with fans wanting a clear direction here, there has been a lot of discussion surrounding this all offseason long, and now Mike Brown's decision is clear. Fans have been waiting to see this and to see if Mike Brown is going to make a move that took Tom Thibodeau 100 games last season to get through. And that's going to tell us a lot about Mike Brown and what the Knicks are going to look like next season. And we're going to dive right into that, explain what that move is and everything surrounding the team. But guys, real quick, before we do that, if you have ever thought about wanting to be a part of the Digest Media team, if you want to write about sports, if you want to talk about sports, we have multiple openings, including one for the Brooklyn Nets. I know this is Knicks Digest, but when we're surrounding New York City, there's obviously a ton of New York sports fans everywhere, and we have a bunch of different teams out here in New York. I know I always make jokes that the Nets are from New Jersey, but the New York, New Jersey area, look, we usually feel the same about a lot of sports teams, and if you want to cover the Brooklyn Nets, whether it's on camera or writing about them, make sure to subscribe by clicking the link in the description or copying that link on the screen right now, because we have a ton of openings. We also have some for the New York Giants as well. If you are a Giants fan, I am not. I am a New York Jets fan. You can see me on Jets Digest with Matt Long, but as we know, the Giants have had a very interesting season, having Jackson Dart come in. Obviously, Malik Neighbors went down with the torn ACL, which is absolutely terrible news because you never want to see that happen to a young guy, especially when he's on my fantasy team. But we have a ton of openings that you guys should definitely apply to if you're interested. But let's jump into the video. There is a lot to go over with the Knicks right now because, guys, Mike Brown has plans. We know Mike Brown's got a lot of plans for this team that's going to change a lot. But right now, when considering everything, the biggest question has been Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart. That hasn't changed. Fans have wanted to know, is it going to be Mitchell Robinson starting at the center and having everybody slide down a position? Is it going to be Josh Hart starting and running it back with the same Knicks starting five last year that was super efficient until it wasn't? But with a new coach, things easily could change. That's been the big question mark all offseason long, and Evan Sidery revealed a huge update that the Knicks' projected starting lineup is Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. So now we have the most clear answer to this. The Knicks are choosing Mitchell Robinson with all likelihood. Now, that being said, Fred Katz and James Edwards also talked about this, with Fred Katz saying Mike Brown said he would use the preseason to determine the ideal first unit. 4 players are guaranteed to be there: Brunson, Bridges, OG, and Karl-Anthony Towns. But that 5th spot is up for grabs. Slot in Josh Hart, the starter from last season, and the Knicks add a playmaking, rebounding wing, but lack rim protection. Hart's inconsistent jump shot prevents a 5-out style too, and questions will emerge about his injured finger, which he said required him to use a splint during games. Josh Hart last season had the best season of his NBA career, though. He put up 13.6 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, and 6 assists, got a steal and a half per game. It was absolutely phenomenal. Shot 52% from the field and 33% from three. He was an absolute workhorse, a Swiss Army knife who you never get sick and tired of watching. Obviously, he has his drawbacks. He's an inconsistent three-point shooter who's hesitant to shoot the 3-ball, causing a lot of issues with a 5-out style, despite the fact that he's only 6'4", which does lead to big men guarding him and just playing off of him and double-teaming Karl-Anthony Towns. The Knicks would have to find a way around that because obviously this unit has been solved if they continue to use that freelance style that Thibodeau used, given they're not expected to, so that is going to have a huge impact on things as well. But Katz also mentioned you could stick Mitchell Robinson in and the first unit turns massive with a 7-footer who doubles as an elite rebounder and paint protector, but Robinson's offensive skill set guarantees the floor will scrunch when he's on it. On top of that, there is just a lot to consider with the Mitchell Robinson thing, because, of course, there is the injury concern, but also when it comes down to Mitchell Robinson, there is something that we have to consider. Yeah, the spacing's not going to be as great, but also it'll be better than it is with Josh Hart, because you can't just stick a non-big on Mitchell Robinson. He's going to absolutely eat them alive on the offensive rebounds, because unlike Josh Hart, who's kind of going to linger between a dunker spot and the three-point spot, Mitchell Robinson's going to sit in that dunker spot, and yeah, it might be harder to drive, but it also leads to easier dump-offs to Mitch. Or Mitch is just going to be down there the entire time causing havoc. Mitch causes more spacing than you think because the way he kind of expands out a little bit and can chase those offensive rebounds. I mean, if Karl-Anthony Towns drives towards the paint and gets double teamed, he's either likely going to get fouled or the double team is going to come off the big man, and Mitchell Robinson's going to be under that rim alone. So even if Cat, a 7-footer who's very, very skilled at scoring down low through double teams, we've seen it last year, if he is to Mitch, if he is to miss, Mitch is going to be right under the ball or right under the rim, ready to just catch the ball and just put it right back up for a dunk. So it's going to lead to easy second chance points. And if someone wants to help off, then there's going to be an open shot. Mitch is going to be able to get that rebound and kick it out to one of Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, or Mikal Bridges. Depending on where those guys are on the floor, it's either going to be an open shot, likely from the wing or from the corner, just depending on where everyone's standing. If Mitch is in the dunker spot, we're going to have someone lingering between that corner and that wing, which is going to be on the weak side. So you're going to see that. That will be the help guy. Mitch will kick it out over there. And all three of those guys are not going to be afraid to shoot it with a late contest coming their way. None of them are afraid to shoot a three. And they're also all good at shooting the three, especially in the corner when you consider OG and Mikal being excellent corner three-point shooters. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is as well, but he's just an excellent three-point shooter wherever you want to put him on the floor. So that's why I kind of put them in a different box. But Mitchell Robinson was great in the playoffs for the Knicks and showed that he deserves to be a starter. He put up 7.1 rebounds, 4.7 points, and 1 steal per game, with nearly a block as well. He wasn't fully healthy. He was still trying to come back from that injury. You could tell he didn't have the conditioning yet, but he still shot 60.8% from the field and grabbed 3.7 offensive rebounds because he's Mitchell Robinson. It's just what he does. Mitch, when he started those 4 games at the end of the playoff run, he averaged 7 rebounds, 6.5 points, and 1.3 steals to go with 1.3 blocks as well. We saw the block nest monster completely come back, even though, again, he still wasn't fully back to what he was a few years ago because he just hasn't had the conditioning yet. We're going to see that now. He's going through training camp healthy. For the first time in years, Mitchell Robinson is having a healthy offseason. That's really, really good for this team. And he put up good, consistent numbers. He got some points on the board as well. He showed that he was more or less afraid to shoot the ball, I should say. And his true shooting was a 77.6, despite the fact that there was concerns about the free throw shooting. It's also important to note that they did get the free throw shooting up to 50%. Obviously not good, but when you're shooting 0.5, or when you're making 0.5 free throws of the one you attempt per game, it's really not the complete end of the world, if we're being honest. And again, when you got a field goal percentage like that, it does kind of help cover things. So Mitch, I do believe, should be the starter. I've said this multiple times. And as NYK Mentality mentioned, shout out to them, they're a great Twitter account. He said, I don't care about the regular season with Mitchell Robinson. 2018, he missed 16 games. 2019, he missed 5. 2020, he missed 51. 2021, he missed 10. 2022, he missed 23. 2023, he missed 51 games. And 2024, he missed 65 games. As NYK Mentality mentioned, I just want and need Mitchell Robinson 100% healthy for the playoffs. The Knicks don't need to play Mitch on back-to-backs, and Mitch has already said that he's not sure if he's going to play back-to-backs. He doesn't know. And he doesn't have to. There's no reason to play Mitchell Robinson on back-to-backs. In fact, it gives you more of a chance to actually use Ariel Hukporti and see what you have there for your third-string center, which is really, really important going into a season where Mitchell Robinson, your real one rim protector outside of Hukporti, is injury-prone. So it makes a lot of sense for the Knicks to not play Mitch on back-to-backs, to keep him healthy and to also just get some Ariel Hukporti minutes in there. I think a lot of us do believe in Hukporti. There's a lot of similarities to Isaiah Hartenstein out there, who we all know and love very much. Now, Josh Hart also made that joke, as we know, saying if I don't start, I'll probably ask for a trade. He was joking. We all know he was joking. That's the Josh Hart sense of humor. He did say he believes he's a starter in this league, because he is. The Knicks are also one of the deepest, if not the deepest team in the NBA, probably the second to the Thunder, because the Thunder are just stacked. But when you think about everything, it's important to note that Mitchell Robinson also commented on Instagram under this. I know it's hard to read, but he does say start the man with an exclamation point. So Mitch and Josh Hart clearly don't care which one starts. Josh has even said on the Roommates show before, he's like, I don't care if I start, come off the bench. I know I'm going to get my minutes anyway. And at the end of the day, it should be matchup based. But Josh is right. There's games where Josh Hart should start over Mitchell Robinson. It just depends on when. But at the same time, when we consider what Mike Brown recently said about everything, he said, we have rules. We want to make sure to protect the basket first, and we want to declare ball, but while declaring the ball, load and make that paint look crowded. Then you want to find the most dangerous guy. That is saying that Mitchell Robinson is going to start right there. That is exactly what that quote means. And as Fred Katz mentioned, Robinson is the favorite to start, which would mean Towns sliding over to the power forward, which mutes some of his offensive superpowers. The decision might not come down to what makes the team best on opening night. But here's also the thing to consider with Mitchell Robinson starting. Yeah, it could mute Karl-Anthony Towns a bit because he's one of the most dangerous post scorers in basketball. But it's not like they're going to play a ton of minutes together. They're the two centers that are really going to be in the rotation. Yeah, Gershon Yabusele is going to play some minutes at the 5. That's probably going to happen. But it's not going to... Mitch and Cat can both start and have their minutes staggered pretty well to where Cat's probably spending around 40 to 60% of the time I don't know why I didn't just say 50% if I'm going to go 40 to 60. But he's going to spend around half the time playing center anyway. And when he's not playing center, it's because Mitch is on the floor with him. Or maybe Hukporti is, depending on if it's a back-to-back or something like that. And if it is the back-to-back, I don't think they're throwing Hukporti into the starting lineup. I imagine they'll just put Josh in there anyway. So it's going to work out. They're all going to get their minutes. I am way more curious about how all the guards get their minutes between Deuce and Jordan Clarkson and Malcolm Brogdon, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would love to see Deuce McBride start. I know it's a shorter team. I know it could be a bit of a worry defensively, but Deuce is an excellent point of attack defender, and when you mix that with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, and on a Mike Brown pace and space team, it's a true 5-out unit with three very, very talented two-way players. Also very, very talented on the defensive end, but also great offensive players. OG just had his best offensive season. Mikal really got it together in the second half of the year, and Deuce McBride is a great shooter, so it easily works out as well. I want to see that happen, but it's probably not going to. It's definitely the longest shot, but we are going to see that unit play because Mike Brown has an affinity for 5-out and two-way players, even if it does sacrifice some rim protection, which we saw him do in Sacramento, despite the fact that, in all fairness, Domantas Sabonis is miles ahead protecting the rim than Karl-Anthony Towns is. We're going to see what happens, guys. What do you want to happen? Do you want to see Mitch start? Do you want to see him play back-to-backs? Do you not? How do you feel about all this? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Mike Brown thus far? I'm absolutely loving everything he's saying. I feel like I'm actually learning stuff when he says stuff, but we'll talk about that more later. I got to bounce. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks.